Ready? Cornhole with Smooth, bringing the community together, one bag at a time.
What up, what up, what up, y'all? This is Jay Smooth, and this is...
Hey, what's up? I'm Elise Whitelaw.
And it's Cornhole with Smooth, the podcast. What's going on, Elise?
Not a lot. Just finished up my 9 to 5 and got to see Dr. Nick, who you interviewed a couple weeks ago about some chiropractic stuff, and he's got my back, so he hooked me up. So shout out to Dr. Nick.
Always shout out to my bro, Dr. Nick. He always got our back. Also, shouts out to our sponsor, Iris in the City. Make sure you check her out on her Facebook page and YouTube page. And we're just looking forward to working, continuously with Iris. Elise, we finally here. Episode 1, the introduction. We did it. We here.
Yeah, finally. It took us a couple weeks scheduling-wise to get it figured out when we were going to be able to record, but I think we're finally going to have our groove and get regular podcasts coming out, so pretty excited. I know a lot of people are seeing the merch and seeing Cornhole Smooth all over Facebook, so I think a lot of them are also probably wondering what Cornhole Smooth is all about and what we're going to be doing. So do you want to clue people in on what it is and how we got it started, where the idea came from?
Yeah, I'll start off how I started, right? So Iris, our sponsor, actually, we was talking about Cornhole, and she was just asking me about the game because she's been seeing all over Facebook and YouTube, and she knew I played. And she was just asking me about how I got in the game, and I explained to her how I got into the game and things like that. And since she has her own brand, her own magazine, and own podcast, she was asking me about, hey, have you ever thought about starting your own brand? Never have thought about that. I mean, maybe 3 or 4 years ago, I started a team called the Black Mambas, but I never thought about a brand, And she was like, well, I know you still go by Smooth. That used to be your name, DJ Smooth, when you DJ'd or whatever. And I was like, yeah. She said, so what about Cornhole with Smooth? Ding, ding, ding. Hey, I love that name. Let's go with it. And it just went from there. It just, she started, giving me different ideas, different designs and things like that. And we're here now, and the whole purpose of it is to, again, bringing the community together. Like my saying, I said, bringing the community together one bag at a time. I truly mean that. I truly mean building relationships and bringing in all types of people into this community because it's such a lovely community. It's so big, but we got so many people who do so many different things that people don't know about. And I just want to bring everybody in, community events, our own tournaments, our ideas about having a line dance tournament, with Cornhole tournament at the same time. I think that's a great idea, So just doing so many different things, like having business owners on there, other podcasters, we can have educators on there, all kinds of things, real estate agents, real estate investors, whatever it is. I want to bring everybody in. It doesn't matter what you do, as long as you're bringing that positive and smooth vibes, we're here to stay. So.
For sure. What benefits do you see of us starting to interview people outside of the Cornhole community, so other business owners, educators?
I think what it does is it brings light to the human side, and it brings in, networking, right? So Dr. Nick, who you just were, working with today to help with your back issue. I mean, you just never know who needs that type of information or who needs information about, educators or information about real estate or information about just, mental health or wherever the case may be, we would have the resources to go back to help other people out so they can come to us and say, hey, who was that person that was on your podcast? You got the information. Yeah. And I can always reach out to them because we built that relationship ourselves. So
I think there's so many opportunities at everyone's fingertips with the people they play with, and they don't even realize what's right in front of them. So yeah, there's good opportunities there.
I 100% agree. I think a lot of times we go out there and compete and have fun, but we don't have conversations. Right. It helps you learn people and you can grow with each other, and like I said, build those relationships and that network. It's amazing to me. I'm a team player, so I'm always looking forward to working with others, just like with you, how I met you. It's all through relationships. So now it's Cornhole with Smooth, so let's get it going. So like for me, I just want to ask you some questions because, I just want you to introduce yourself. Who is Elise?
Definitely did not start out as a cornhole player. I am married with 2 children, and my husband, Mike Whitelaw, who a lot of people might know, is good at everything that he does. So he asked me to start playing cornhole with him. And I was like, yeah, right. It's going to whoop me every time. I actually started playing and actually really enjoyed it. So I ditched my dart league that I was playing in on Thursdays and decided to join up the league. I had a lot of fun, so I decided to stick to it. And outside of that, we're always looking at different places to be playing on the weekends, and that's really my hobby. Aside from working, my family, that's what I do.
What is your vision for the podcast? Just your own vision.
I'm excited to see people that were similar to me that had like a desire to play but wasn't really sure where to start or didn't think they had the skill level to start playing. Those are my people. Those are the people I want to bring in and show them like kind of the experience that I had, and that it's not a scary group of people. Like everybody that I've encountered has wanted us to succeed in like just getting better, and that's what I want for other people too, and just to be a part of the community that I have grown to really love being a part of.
And that's one thing I can say, since I've been in this community, everybody try to help each other. It don't matter if you're a beginner player or you're a pro. Everybody's trying to help each other, to get better, because one thing we know is anybody can win. So, if you get out there and compete, you have a competitive nature, you can beat anybody. So that's what I love so much about the sports, the way we try to help each other out in the best way we can. So like, I know you've been throwing for a little bit now. So like, what is one of your favorite bags that you're throwing right now?
I bounce all over the place. I have tried a lot of different bags, and I think that I'm still trying to find like my bag. But the last couple weeks, I've been throwing the Royal Flush R's, and I have a really fast throw, so they've been working for me as far as like staying on the board when I'm throwing really quick, but also like that happy medium, so that I'm still finding the hole too.
Yeah. Well, me knowing you and I play with you, we, been partners. So, I mean, yes, that's going to be a great bag for you because you throw extremely hard. So that's a bag that's maybe on the slow side, the slow side, like a 4-speed. On the fast side, maybe a 6 or 7. So that's a perfect bag for you. Looking forward for Cornhole with Smooth merch and things like that. You have any ideas where we may need to venture out to or anything like that?
So the koozies was my biggest thing, only because who doesn't always need a koozie? Right.
That's right.
The t-shirts, I think, are going to be even bigger now that we're realizing the colors that we have and the different fits and everything. Other merch, I don't know. I think the possibilities are endless. We're open to suggestions and what people want to see. So first question for you was what you feel your greatest accomplishment has been like within Cornhole so far.
One of my greatest accomplishments is starting Cornhole with Smooth. I have, received a lot of positive input, since I've started this. Again, I've been in the game almost 4 years, so everybody's been great, but starting this, having this whole brand and try to bring everybody together is like very fulfilling for me. I've played against some of the best people. I've actually won a couple of games to get some good people and things like that. But for me, I love that competitive nature of that side. But this side of the business boy is always just me. I'm an entrepreneur, so I love business and I love building relationships. So that's like one of my things in networking, so.
I can tell that you're very passionate about this because you'll be texting me randomly. Okay, what do you think about this idea? What do you think about this? Did you come up with this? So I think that I can see your passion, and I know that other people are seeing your passion for this as well. So I think that's awesome. And you can definitely tell that it's going to be one of your biggest accomplishments for sure. So I need advice also. Whenever you're throwing not your best, what do you do to stay motivated so you're not like so down on yourself and just move on to the next day?
I think what I do is, if you have a bad day, just a bad day of throwing, because everybody has that, right? Nobody's perfect, unless you're some of these kids out here nowadays. They can go out here and just throw because they don't have to worry about regular life like us. But but no, I think what I do is I just, recap of that day, right? See what my mechanics was, what bags I was missing and things like that. And maybe try to wonder why. Was it mental or was it, mechanics? And I go back to the drawing board and just start practices on basics, right? I go down to the basement. If you have a set of boards, go out in the backyard in the basement, just go back out there and practice the next day. That's the only way you get better. Just practice, because practice makes perfect. But we all gonna have bad days. I know sometimes people get in their head like, I don't want to play anymore because they had a horrible time. Had a horrible game. But, that happens in life. You can't just give up in life if you have a horrible day. You got to keep pushing, right?
Right.
That's how I look at it.
That's fair. That's a good advice. And what has been your personal experience with the cornhole community thus far? Has it always been, like we had mentioned, like the supportive group of people?
Well, just in cornhole in general, you're gonna run into some people that may not be the best fit for your personality, or people that you may not become friends or even associates with. But that's just life. I'm not going to stop being me because who they are, and that's just who I am as a person. So I don't really care about none of that. It's going to be out there because that's just what happens every day. But within the community, I haven't had any issues. I just go out there and have a good time. I try to treat people the same way I want to be treated, and go out here and compete and have a good, just play cornhole because it's just bags, right? But
Yep.
But my whole thing again is these bags can change somebody else's life, right? And that's my whole purpose of this, because you just never know who you're talking to and what's people going through or whatever it is. People need help in other ways. You just never know. So I'm going to take this opportunity to see what I can do from my standpoint to help others, just like with you. You do the same thing. So
Absolutely. Yeah. So what do you see for next episodes of the podcast? I know we've talked about bringing on some familiar faces. So what do you see happening next?
I'm looking forward to having some of these guests on. We're going to have some good guests on there. We're going to have, a lot of cornhole players, of course. We're going to have some educators. We're going to have some real estate agents. We're going to have some, people talking about mental health. And we're going to have CEOs and directors who run cornhole tournaments on here. So we're going to have a wide range of people on here. And of course, we're going to have Jay and Elise on here every podcast. So we're going to always be here. So look out for us first.
Yeah.
But, we're going to have some good guests on. And at the end of the show, we're going to announce who'll be our first guest. So other than that, I'm just really proud of us and what we did, and it's been a lot of hard work. A lot of people don't know it's a lot of leg work to get this stuff started. We started just from a name, and now we're here. We got a whole podcast. We have a whole episode 1, and I am
finally
proud. I'm proud of us. That's all. I don't know what else to say. I'm just elated about where we at because again, I didn't know what was going to happen. We would just say we're going to do it. We're going to do it. We just never stopped. That's one thing I do love about us. We didn't stop. No matter what, barriers in our way, we didn't stop. We here now, episode 1. Plenty more to come. Something personal about me, I didn't really tell a lot about myself, but of course, I'm married. I have 3 children. They're all adults. I'm an empty nester this fall, and my baby girl will be going to Grand Canyon University in Phoenix, where my son is at, and my middle daughter will be graduating from Tennessee State University next May. So, looking forward to being an empty nester. My kids will be adults, so I'm happy with that. I grew up in North St. Louis City. And it was a struggle, but I made it out. I went to Morris Brown University down in Atlanta, Georgia, where I went down there for a track scholarship. So track has always been my sport. I'm an athlete, but track was one of my favorite sports, but I can play anything. Maybe not hockey because I can't skate, but if somebody taught me, Mike, I'd be able to do that. But I work at Washington University in St. Louis. I've been in IT for over 10 years. Right now, I'm an application analyst, which I work with facilities over at WashU, and I analyze their applications and things like that. So that's my life, cornhole, IT, being a husband, and being a father. I look forward to all those things. So just thinking about other things that we have done, in the background. People don't know what Elise does in the background. You do a lot of work in the background that people don't know. They may think it's me. It's not me. Right. Just because I ain't IT don't mean I know everything, but we pick what we're good at, right? And that's what makes a great team, right? You do a whole lot, and I appreciate you. Continue to do great work, and the sky's the limit for us, So is there anything else you want to, say or discuss at this time?
I don't think so. I'm pretty excited about what's to come as well. So I think you can name drop who our first guest might be.
We get a drum roll. All right. So our first guest on the podcast, a lot of you guys know him. I know everybody in the Metro East know him. He plays from I would say from Canada to Texas. If it's somewhere to play, he's going to be playing. And, you know, he's one of the great guys in the game. I played him so many times. He comes off, he supports us a lot. And again, he just one of those guys that's going to show up and show out. And it's going to be Mr. Patty P. So Mr. Patty P going to be our first guest on our podcast that we release for episode 2. So be looking out for that. Also, again, check out our sponsor, Iris in the City, right above Elise's head. We're going to be in her magazine, her podcast. She does a lot with women and domestic violence and things like that. So she'll be on the podcast also. So be looking out for that. We'll be coming soon with our new podcast. Yeah, we'll let you know we'll drop it. But you'll see some shorts and everything on Facebook. But other than that, I'm Jay Smooth, and it's Cornhole with Smooth, the podcast. We out. Peace.